Hey, you guys. This is kind of going to be a follow-up to what I posted yesterday about the spiritual gang stalking. So consider this kind of a part 3. Just to reiterate a couple of things and go over a few more ideas about it. The other video I had hoped to get up in one piece, but I actually had to cut it into 2 parts because it was too long to upload. I hate it when that happens. I'm trying to be mindful of that. Spiritual gang stalking. Yes. And as I mentioned in that other video, this is something that I had heard, the term a few times in the last year. I haven't, it's only recently that it's come to my attention, and I didn't really think much of it at first. I didn't really look too deeply into it. But now, at this point in time, it is really resonating with me because of the patterns I've been seeing, because of what's been happening to me. And so yeah, I'm going to get into that and wrap up a few points about that situation. It's freaky, isn't it? Check out those other 2 videos I posted if you want. And again, my videos are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not, dispensing professional advice, not a doctor. I do always suggest that people identify their issues with a professional and work through those things. Reach out to a professional always if you can. I just like to examine things, speak from my personal experience, what I've been through, whatever. But yeah, it's a freaky topic. It's a freaky thing. And I was thinking about this yesterday. Even if you're not a highly spiritual person, even if this is too flaky for you and you're just like, oh, what the fuck ever. Life is life and shit happens and that's what's happening. Hey, I get it. I totally get that. Part of that's right. But, even if you're not spiritually inclined or you don't think it's some, energetic, negative forces or energies or entities outside of ourselves, that could be a possibility, coming after us, testing us, trying to distract us from our path, for certain people. Even if you don't think like that, the concept itself, like if you're a person that suffers from a lot of depression or you've been through a traumatic past, you're stuck in something toxic, you're always having trouble motivating yourself or, whatever the case. If you're a person like that, I just think it's good food for thought. Sometimes as humans, as authentic as we are, as we want to be at all times, for real, we want to bring it real. Sometimes we have to play games with our mind to get ourselves motivated, right? And we have to make sure the game we're playing is not lying to ourselves or in denial too much or wearing rose-colored glasses too much. Now, sometimes we have to do that for a short period just to get through something. And then we make sure as a healthy-minded individual that we come back later and we go ahead and deal with those issues, because if we don't, it can come back on us. It can really destroy us emotionally. So sometimes I understand when people go into denial or they have a funny way of coping or they cartoon out or put on some rose-colored glasses for a while just to make sure that they can get strong enough to even face the reality of those emotions, of that situation. As long as you do it temporarily and it's temporarily and you're going to come back later and face that reality, then okay, I can understand that. I don't care for it, though, when people put on rose-colored glasses and go into denial and they just live there. They just live in some fantasy warp all of the time. And they don't face reality. They won't get real. I don't dig that. But sometimes we do have to play games with our minds as humans to get through the fucking day. Whatever we have to tell ourselves to get through the fucking day sometimes, right? And it just depends on your brain chemistry. It depends on how you were raised. It depends on what you have to deal with in your own mind. Some people don't have to deal with any of that stuff. They don't have a genetic predisposition or they don't have certain disorders, whatever. But so the way I look at it is, even if I weren't highly spiritually inclined, just telling myself sometimes gets me motivated that something's trying to stop me. You catch my drift? Okay, so I'm fully aware of all that shit. I'm fully aware of the possibility. How do we really know? How can you say there's not? The possibility that there is something spiritual that follows people sometimes, that tries to get in their way. Dark forces and light forces. You know what I'm saying? How can we say that there's not? But then from the other perspective, if I just wanted to motivate myself and say, you know what? I'm going to turn all this around. Every little thing that gets in my way every day, from, that person calling me at the wrong time while I'm trying to focus and concentrate, and I've already told them not to do that, or from the partner or relationship situation that just keeps pulling at me at the wrong time, breaking my boundaries, or from that tree limb that just fell in my way when I'm trying to get on down the sidewalk to go to my meeting and, do this, isn't it? You can look at it however you want. You can turn that into a game and literally trick your mind into being more motivated. Like if you were to tell yourself every little adverse event, instead of going crazy about it, reacting about it, getting angry about it, or letting it melt you down, depress you, stop you, slow you down, what if every adverse event like that, every adversity, every annoyance throughout the day, you just looked at it like, I know this is something that is trying its best to get to me. It wants me to melt down. It wants me to be depressed. It wants me to say, fuck it. I'm too irritated. This is stressing me out. I give up. It wants me to change course. It wants me to back down. What if every adverse event you kind of looked at it like a challenge? And you looked at it like some negative force conspiring to get you down. And then you took it and you turned it, and that motivated the fuck out of you that I'm not going to let that happen. And you got right on through those challenging and adverse events with a whole different perspective then. I'm just saying there's all kinds of ways we can look at things. And of course, no, we do not want to look at the universe or the whole world like it's conspiring to get us all the time on all levels. I'm just saying on that one level. If you could take adverse events that annoy the shit out of you, stress you out, get you distracted, piss you off, depress you, if you could look at those events and go, I see this. This is something that's conspiring to get me. It doesn't want me to finish this video. It doesn't want me to go to work. It doesn't want me to stay on my healthy path. It doesn't want me to focus. Then, yeah, can you see what I'm getting at? You could take that and change it, and it would motivate you to go, I'm not going to let that happen. And then instead of getting all melted down and upset over that one event and distracted by it, you would get on your game even more powerfully. Yeah, I'm just saying, I've had to play games with my mind like that all my life. I really have. Whether I fully believe in what I'm telling myself, the spiritual gangstalking concept, or any of this stuff, whether I fully believe that with all my heart or not is irrelevant. I can still tell myself things to motivate myself and use something like that to my advantage, to better myself, to keep things from dragging me down. So I thought that was an interesting point. I was thinking about that a lot yesterday, about the things we tell ourselves to get through life. A lot of times that's a negative thing, though. A lot of times people tell themselves a lot of lies, especially addicts, people who've been traumatized, toxic people, people who are extremely depressed or just can't handle reality. A lot of times, especially addicts, oh my God, the lies they tell themselves just to get through the next day, just to have that next fix or drink, just to avoid facing responsibility and reality. Those are things I cannot tolerate. I've always been a person who wants to face my challenges, face my weaknesses, face the responsibilities and challenges and adversities at hand, and go ahead and walk through them. I've always been that kind of person. But you get what I'm saying. Sometimes we can take things and we can shift it how we need to in our brain to get through certain situations to stay motivated. So you can take that information for what you want. Take it in spiritual terms, take it in whatever terms, and apply it to however you need it, whatever works for you. We don't have to just put a black and white label on everything and go, that's not right. That's not for me. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't apply to me. That sounds bogus. We don't have to do that. We can always find an area of our life where we might be able to apply that information and do something with it. And a lot of what, these theories that I'm talking on and these concepts and thoughts, I watch a lot of different creators here on YouTube. Pete Sapper at Empath Uprising is one of them. I believe they may have changed the name already to the 144 or the Chosen. I need to get the new name. I know they were going to change the channel name. He was. And I can put a link to some of his videos in my description box. I talked about his advantage method, and he's talking about kind of what I'm talking about right now. How we can take the adversities of life and change the game around and use those things to our advantage. Find some way to make that adversity useful to us. So I will put a link to his discussing the advantage method in the description box of this video. I'm just learning how to do that. It's important to me. Put links in the description box for people so that they can check out my sources or stuff that I'm referring to. But let's get on into the spiritual gangstalking topic again, because I don't want to let this video go too long. Okay, I'm doing good on time. Whew, Lord, lately has been a battle. I'll tell you what. Just finding my spirit again. Just, and a part of it is the aging process, getting older. I know that it's normal. I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get my brain healed and repaired from the trauma that I went through, the dysfunction and the chaos. Of living with someone with alcoholism. I pray for him daily. My heart hurts for him daily. It's sad when, and especially, there's a psychological thing of coming from traumatic homes and backgrounds. Yes, we all know that, of course, we have this codependency or affinity for, we tend to attract abusers and those whole cycles and trauma bonds. I know the difference. I know the wiring. And at the end of the day, being fully aware of being on my boundary, not tolerating any type of abuse, emotional abuse, dysfunction, gaslighting, narcissism, any of that stuff, still at the end of the day, standing strong and firm in my boundary, taking distance, doing what I need to do, I still love that person. Not for the psychological reasons that one would think because of my childhood and my alcoholic father. With that sorted out aside, at the end of the day, taking every layer off of everything and sorting all through all the psychology and everything, it's still just love for me. I just genuinely loved that person. I loved spending time with him. I loved our energy together. A lot of times I would go through relationships and be glad as hell to get away from people. And I'd be a whole new person once they were gone. And I felt great about myself. Like, yes, you did it. You got that out of your life. You feel great. Now you can, and I always felt great about now you've got your free time. And, when it wasn't a situation that was working for me. But in this particular situation, I don't feel that way. I haven't gotten my spirit back yet. I don't feel happy when I have to push him away. I don't feel that sense of, I'm free. Yes. I'm so happy and enjoying my life. And I guess that's, part toxic elements of me that still need healing, part damage from the relationship, and part that's what you feel when you genuinely love someone. You're not happy when you leave them. When you had a genuine bond and a genuine opening of your heart and willing to work through every issue you had to be with them, willing to love and learn and grow and step up to the plate and be vulnerable. When you really open yourself like that and you love a human like that, you're not gonna feel great when you leave them. You're not. So I know what I'm going through is very normal. Plus compounded with the fact that he drinks so much that I don't even know how much time he has. That scares me. And the fact that he's in such denial about it that I can't speak real to him about it. I can't at all. It's like there's a whole lot going on there. So anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest, you guys. It's very normal what I'm going through. And I'm determined to get my way back to the life plans that I had for myself, you know? But we have to be flexible. We have to be able to roll with life's punches and adjust and do what we can with it. I know that as well. That is survival, being able to be adaptable. Absolutely. So I work on that as well. And, you know, because that can destroy you too. If you're just, I'm dead set on this one specific outcome and that's the way I planned it. And if I can't have it, then I'm just destroyed. No, we can't be like that either. So, no, I don't feel good about what, you know, but a lot of psychologists and a lot of people will teach you that you should feel good about it. You know, we're always preaching all this stuff. Well, you should feel great. You should feel empowered. Set that boundary down. Shut that narcissist out. Break that codependency. Do your own thing. You should feel great. Okay, I get that too. You should feel good. Now, see, there's another aspect of it. There's so many different components going on for me right now. That's what drives me so crazy. I'm trying to process them all. That's the one component of it's normal for me to feel sad, broken, after a separation or troubles in a relationship, knowing you really need to go your separate ways and you're implementing that as much as you can and all that's going on. It's normal to feel sad and grieving over a love that you feel you're losing or that you lost. That's normal. But at the same time, there's the other component of psychology, and a lot of the instructors and creators on YouTube and psychiatrists and teachers and will also talk about the aspect that while I was in that relationship, I became conditioned and damaged to feel responsible for the alcoholic, to feel extremely guilty for every failure that he had, to feel responsible for his entire life, all of his weight. Yes, he did have a hand in putting all of that on me. The energy was just all-consuming. That is also a narcissist. Alcoholics do that. Narcissists do that. And boy, if they have, that's a complex thing too. Narcissism is going to come automatic with addiction. They're going to turn into a narcissist, period. But some people have narcissistic personality disorder before the substances. They have a double whammy of narcissism when they're on the substances then, okay? So that shit's hard. So you get what I'm saying? There are components of me that are battling each other. There's this total cognitive dissonance there that's been tearing my mind apart for a long time. The fact that I'm feeling I need to go through a normal, depressed grief period over this relationship and admit and feel the deep, deep love I had for this person and face the reality of it and go through all those emotions. But at the same time, I'm fighting this energy of, no, I will not feel bad. No, I will not feel guilty. No, I will not feel responsible. I will not wake up every day and I can't even eat a bite, or I can't think about my work or putting on my clothes. I can't have my spirit because I'm thinking, poor you. You're laying over there drunk. You're not eating. You want me to come take care of you or be with you. I'm torn apart because I do miss you. I do love you, but I know I cannot love you and be what's best for you in that state, nor can you for me. all of those torn things are going on with me, and I've been having to process that. I'm in trouble with my video editing app and trying to save my videos and get them all uploaded in one entire segment. So this one's going to cut off. I'm going to have to upload a fourth part. So from here on, I may have to do, I've got to keep it under 20 minutes until I get a new video editing app. So please join me for the conclusion of this, because I really didn't get time to make my final points. Thank you for watching, and I will conclude this in a fourth part.